It's Mary.
He walks in
Somebody's camera. And he came up with a sit, please. Quickly. Sit. Find a place to sit. Sit right where you are.
Well, thank you so much. I know it's a windy day, and you're
It was worth it. I am sorry.
Here we are.
I won't take very long.
Congresswoman.
Thank you so much for
Ileana
coming back this afternoon.
Talking to the
I hope that
Renaissance
you had a good tour. And today we've been voting. Boy, we've been voting for a long time. We've been there about 3 hours voting today. And we're voting on a Department of Defense bill. That's what funds a lot of our operations in Afghanistan and Libya, etc. And then we're not done voting yet. Now we're sort of on standstill until the Senate passes a bill that we're waiting for. And maybe we'll come back to we're in recess until they get the bill done. There's no telling when they'll get it done, but it should be sometime tonight. I hope not at 2 in the morning, but who knows. So I still have a lot of other things to do in my office and a couple of radio shows to tape and some interviews. But our day starts out just as busy as your parents' day. Plan out your whole day, and then the day happens, and the calendar goes out the door. Because I had planned to see you guys, and then everything got messed up. But I'm on the Foreign Affairs Committee. I'm the head of it. I'm the chairman of it. And as soon as I became chair, the world started getting really messed up. But I had nothing to do with it. But instead of me blah, 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 let me take some of your questions of some of the things you've seen, and they're no silly questions. None at all. Yes, yes, ma'am. Can you hear a little? Can you speak out a little bit? That is great. Well, when that bell rings, we have 15 minutes to make it over here to vote. Because although this is where we vote, our offices are one of 3 office buildings that you see there. There's Cannon, Longworth, and Rayburn. Rayburn over there, that's my office building. So we have 15 minutes, and then they give you 2 minutes of grace period to get there. So we really have 17 minutes. And if you get here there after 17 minutes, then boom, you're out of luck, you didn't register your vote. Then when we have a whole lot of votes, like that 3-hour marathon, there are votes every 2 minutes. So they're trying to tell you, don't go anywhere, please, stay seated and keep voting. So those bells go off, and they go off in all of our office buildings, and also the proceedings are televised, so no matter where you are around here, you know what we're debating and you know what we're voting on. Yes? How often does that happen? That's a great question. Every day is a different day. Usually the first day of voting of the week, Monday, it's only about 3 votes. Then, because sometimes there's bad weather, it's hard for people to get over here. You've seen all those tornadoes tearing apart all the Midwest and the South. That's been wicked. And then in the wintertime, a lot of snow. So the first day, usually only about 3 votes. Then as the week carries on, a lot of votes. How many votes did we just do right now? 20 votes? 20 votes. Today would be a bad day to miss school. Because 20 votes, that's bad for your percentage. Yes?
Did you guys have to vote on the mission that took almost
Very good question. Without knowing it, he's asked a very controversial question. Did we vote on the mission to go kill Osama bin Laden? Underneath that simple question, the answer is no. That is the president's authority. He can do that, and he did, and we thank him for it. Give him applause. But we just had a hearing today in our Foreign Affairs Committee about the War Powers Act. And the War Powers Act is a very controversial bill that became a law many years ago. And it gives certain latitude, gives permission to the president, whoever the president may be, to put our armed forces in harm's way after consultation with Congress up to 60 days. And the law says after 60 days, he's got to come consult with Congress and get authorization. Well, the Supreme Court hasn't quite decided whether that's constitutional or not. The White House, no matter who's president, Democrat or Republican, they say that's an unconstitutional law. We, the executive branch, we have a say over that. You, the legislative branch, sit in the corner and be quiet and just give us the money to carry on our mission. But we don't need to do that. We don't need authorization from you. The president in this operation in Libya, not the one in Bin Laden, because that was in Pakistan, where we just went in and took care of business. In Libya, though, we're now past 60 days. Well, the president says he's consulted with Congress because he has had conversations with us as the chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee. We talked, and the chairman of the Intelligence Committee and the Intelligence of Armed Services, but he hasn't really talked to all of us, just some of us. And some people say, and there was a vote today to say, hey, no more, you've got to consult with Congress. But that's always a tricky issue, the War Powers Act. And when you get older, you'll read all about it. You'll do term papers about it when you're in high school and when you're in college. And that's an issue that will probably never be resolved. Whether the president, as commander-in-chief, has the power to get our armed forces in harm's way without explicit authorization, and that means permission from Congress. So, in your innocent question, you asked the $60,000 question. So, let's see, who else? Yes?
How long were you guys planning the attack?
Well, all hats off. How long were we planning the attack? All hats go off to our military and the CIA, the intelligence services, and the Department of Defense, and the White House, because since President Bush's day, they have been hunting down Bin Laden, as well as hunting down many other bad guys. And for many months, we had the information that Bin Laden was in fact there, and we rented a safe house where we were spying on him, and we had drones that took pictures of the compound. So we had very good intelligence about what was going on in there, and that shows you that sometimes when you're not paying attention, our guys and gals wearing our nation's uniform or not wearing our nation's uniform, because the intelligence agency does not routinely wear a uniform, they are protecting us, and they're keeping our homeland safe. Yes and yes. How long have I been in office? Longer than your parents have been alive. Longer than the oldest person here has been alive. Because I've been here in Congress 21 years, but before that I was in the State House of Representatives in Tallahassee for 4 years, and in the Florida State Senate for 3 years. So 21 or 22, forgive me.
28.
How many?
28.
20. I told you.
Good math.
That's good math. No wonder you're in A school. So a long time. But I love what I do. I never would have thought when I was in 8th grade or 5th grade that I would be a member of Congress, because I was never political. I never ran for public office when I was in elementary or middle or junior high. High school or college. Was never in student government. Nobody in my family was in elective office. So you never know where your life will take you. So get an education, and that's the best kind of experience you can get to then do something else. Let's see. There was another one behind you, and then you, and then you. Yes. Can you speak a little louder so we can hear?
Who was the first person who tried to
Oh my God.
Oh, who's the first person?
Tried to kill Bin Laden.
Oh, well, they've tried many times. They've tried many times, and it's a special operations unit, and that's been their mission. And now, who's taken his place? Al Zawahiri. He's our #1 target. So you'll get to know him, and we'll get him, and then we'll get the other guy. But who's going to win? We are. No doubt about it. All right, now over here I think there was somebody, right? Who was that? Yes. How many years do you have to study to be a member of Congress? Most excellent question. And actually, in our Constitution, it tells you what the requirements are to become a member of Congress. I won't tell you what they are, but there are 3 requirements. Maybe when you go back to school. I know you want homework, right? Now that there's 3 requirements, and I won't tell you what they are. But education is not one of them. Now, I happen to have a doctorate in education from the University of Miami. Go Canes. Southside Elementary School in Little Havana, West Miami Junior High in Pacheco, and then Southwest Miami High School, Go Eagles. And then I went to Miami-Dade College, and then I went to FIU where I have my bachelor's and my master's. And I got my doctorate when I was 52 years old. So you are never too old to teach an old dog new tricks. Education is what I love. So thank you. Excellent question. Let's see who can write to me and tell me what are the 3 requirements as written by our founding fathers to become a member of Congress. I would be very impressed if you find that out. It's in your little Constitution. Let me see. Do I have my purse? I carry it with me. Let's see. I have a little abbreviated thank you. These are wonderful interns. They go to college, and on the summertime, they come and help us out. Tell them where you go to school, intern. Where do you go to school?
FIU.
Yes! Where do you go to school? What's that? Georgia State. Where do you go to school?
University of Florida Gators.
Where do you go to school?
University of Virginia.
What about you?
Boston College.
University of Richmond.
University of Florida. University.
Oh. Boston College.
Boston College. All right, here is my abbreviated, see, little type.
Was it John Adams?
I'm trying to figure out where I would say that.
First president to become an
You have to be a U.S. citizen. Speech, trial, alcoholic beverages, right of vote for women, prohibition.